Now before the festival of the Passover, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart from this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, son of Simon, to betray him. And during supper, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, got up from the table, took off his outer robe, and tied a towel around himself. He then poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was tied around him. This is a reading from the Gospel of John, the word of the Lord. Now, we come to chapel 3 times a week, and so we aren't walking through each day of Holy Week. If we had done so, Sunday, as Rev DJ preached on Monday, was Palm Sunday, where Jesus is entering into Jerusalem and is being greeted by people who are worshiping him and placing palms before him as he rides in to the city. Then you probably see in the synoptics, particularly Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you see a picture of what happens next. And then in John, you've got some other emphases. So in these 4 Gospels, we can basically put together an idea of what probably occurred during this week. So Monday would have been the time when Jesus goes into the temple and clears the temple and turns the tables over and says, "You're making my Father's house a place for robbers, but this is a house of prayer." Then on Tuesday, we see this occasion where Jesus actually curses a fig tree. And the reason is he approaches the fig tree in the season where it should be bearing fruit. He sees it has nice green leaves, but he goes and the tree does not have fruit. Now, you know it's uncharacteristic of Jesus to curse anything. But there's a lesson here. The tree appeared to have fruit. My nephew would say the tree was front. It did not have any figs. It appeared to be something it was not. Therefore, Jesus cursed it. That says a lot about front, doesn't it? And then we have Wednesday come. And probably what occurred, this is when we have the conversation in the temple where the authorities are asking Jesus, "Who gave you authority? By who authority are you speaking?" If we did it today, we'd be going. So that's the sense of it. Like, who told you you could do this? And the troubling thing for the authorities was that Jesus spoke with such authority. Wow, that's what bothered them. And he asked them, when I read things like this in scripture, I just say, "Go ahead, Jesus." He asked them, "By whose authority do you do what you do?" And he said, "By whose authority did John baptize?" And the rulers knew if they said John did it within himself, the people would rebel because they saw John as a prophet. So they really couldn't answer Jesus' question. And Jesus said, "Neither will I answer your question. By whose authority do I do this?" That's one of those "go ahead, Jesus" moments once again, because he saw their hearts. Now, if you were here tomorrow, then that's Monday, Thursday, when we see the formal institution of what we have come to know as Holy Communion or the Holy Eucharist. And prior to that supper, that moment together, Jesus washes the disciples' feet. Wow. What is that about? We got this idea of God coming in the flesh, and that boggles the mind in and of itself. I'm thinking, if I worshiped a God, I would say my God would have these characteristics. And I would think, well, yeah, a God could hang a moon and hang a star and speak the galaxies into existence and all of these other things. Sure, and a God could heal the sick and raise the dead. No problem there. But what about this washing feet stuff? And I think the heart of it is this. And I lift this to you for you to consider. The amazing thing about God is not all of those creative things and all the wonders and speaking this and speaking that and healing this and no, the amazing thing about God is God shows up in Richmond, Virginia. God shows up at 6001 Grove Avenue. God shows up in my heart. And that's what's so amazing. And so as I wash feet, I want you to think about God showing up in your life in such humility, in such love for you, in such grace in your life that God would come and wash your feet and desire good things for you. And as your feet are being washed, you are being prayed for, that where these feet trod, let her be blessed. Go before her, be with her as she walks through life. No wonder David's words come to my mind, yea, though I walk through the valley and the shadow of death, because by washing her feet, even in this act, I am reminded of a God who so loves Dorothy. I can hardly believe it. God so loves me that God comes just where we are and meets us just where we sit. And then, in God's love for us, says, where your feet trod. Always remember you are loved. Love doesn't take a vacation. Wherever you walk, God's with you. Wherever you go, God cares. Whether it's Duke or UNC or University of Tennessee, God goes with you. Don't you ever forget, you are completely and fully loved by God. Let us stand and thank you for your grace that meets us in this season and helps us to know that Easter Sunday morning is coming. Bless us as we pray the prayer your Son taught us, saying, Our Father,